Hello dreamers, it's Kayla King and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new, welcome. Today I'm excited to give a recap of my first official week participating in NANOWRIMO 2022. You may have noticed that Preptober kind of fell off around day 3 and there's a very good reason for that. I did fall under the weather for day 4 and day 5, but I actually took it as a sign that I didn't need to go through and give myself writing prompts. The goal was to get immediately into the book as fast as possible, and that's what I was able to do every day during the first week of Nano. The first day I did get all of my snacks sorted and the bottom shelf of my cart in the writing studio organized so that I felt ready and prepared to dive right into my pages. Before I give you a breakdown of all of the chapters and word counts I was able to hit each day, I did want to show you a little bit of my week vlog style, so I will insert that footage right here.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic. We're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic. Believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
I took full advantage of the gorgeous weather that we had the last week in Buffalo, New York, and I walked my dog. I spent some time outside reading and writing. I did also take time on Sunday, November 6th to go and vote. I also spent quite a bit of time connecting with other writers on the Discord channel that was started from my writing course. That has officially wrapped up, but so many of us wanted to stay in touch, and we do have separate channels on there and a channel specifically for NANOWRIMO, so that really kept me hyped during the week, as well as knowing that my critique partner was also going to be doing a version of NANOWRIMO and some of my other writerly friends as well. One thing you didn't see but I'm hoping to talk about in a later video was my final meeting with my mentor from my writing course. It was so inspiring and really helped me keep that momentum going through the second half of the first week of NANOWRIMO. So let's dive into a recap of how I was able to do each day. So the first day, of course, I had so much energy going, and before I allowed myself to sit down and really dive into that chapter, I did go back and compile my playlist of songs that were specifically for killing a character. I've shared that on my social media platforms, but I'll also share that list of songs in the description down below in case anyone is interested. Don't have a Spotify playlist. I think I may be one of the last relics of people using Apple Music, but at this point in time, that's the only place you can find it. Once I had my playlist going, I did put on my headphones and look at that blank page, and I was able to put 2,033 words down and complete the skeletal version of chapter 78 also known as the chapter in which I had to kill a beloved character. It was tough, but actually not as emotional as I thought it was going to be. I think because in my mind I had built this up to be some major thing, I was actually preventing myself from working on it. I had so much fear and frustration surrounding getting into this chapter, and then once I just allowed myself to start writing, it flowed out and ended up being easier than I thought it was going to be. For day 2, I did dive back into that chapter as I had some more things to flesh out. Really, I got the conversations down and the moving pieces of what needed to happen, but I wanted to flesh out that location and a lot of the emotions that were happening with my main character and some of the other characters on the page. I ended up putting 2,788 words down. For day 3, I did move on to chapter 79, but before I did that, I did take a look at my query and synopsis and fiddled around with 2 of those paragraphs, so that's where some of my word count came in for this 3rd day, and I touched 1,562 words, so a little bit less than that 2,000, but that was okay. My #1 goal doing NaNoWRIMO this year was not to get into my own head and not to belittle or demean any of the progress that I was making on a daily basis, and I'm happy to report that after this first week, I have succeeded. For day 4, I did have 2,096 words, and these actually came from edits that I did on chapter 1. The agent who had given me feedback on my query letter back in October also took a look at my query letter, synopsis, and first 10 pages of my manuscript, and I did get that feedback returned to me on November 4th. So I took this opportunity to implement that feedback and go back to chapter 1 to really make sure it was polished and complete and that I didn't need to touch it again after this last round. And I was successful. I have yet to implement some of the feedback that I did get from my query and synopsis, but I'm hoping there may be time at the end of this month to go back and make those changes. For day 5, I did hit 2,548 words. This was huge in my mind because I was returning back to chapter 78. I did have a meeting with my critique partner, and she reviewed that chapter in which I killed my beloved character, and she had so much terrific feedback that I actually went back and implemented it into chapter 78 the same day while I was feeling creatively inspired and really in the moment of that chapter. I was able to finish it that night, and I'm so happy with how it turned out, and I must admit, in the edits, I did cry a little bit. Finally, for day 6, I did hit 1,946 words, and this all went into drafting chapter 79. I left on a note that is really going to allow me to jump right back in and finish that chapter out. All in all, I was able to touch almost 13,000 words for my first week, and I'm so excited with the progress I've made and to see where I'm going next. Now, before the end of the first week, my Pipstick order did arrive, and I refused to allow myself to open it until I was able to successfully finish out the first week of NaNoWRIMO. Now, this was my first time ordering from Pipsticks. If you've ordered before and really love the company, let me know in the comments below. I've been thinking of doing the Pipstick subscription box, but haven't quite decided, so if anybody has had experience and really loves it, I would love to know. As you can see here, I did go a little bit overboard. I absolutely love stickers, and I use them on a weekly basis in my journal. That's a wrap on the first week of NaNoWRIMO 2022. I'm so excited to go into this second week and see how much progress I'm able to make on my manuscript. As I move into this next week, I'm going to continue with my process of adding stickers to my chapter tracker in my editing notebook. It worked out really well for me in the past week, and I think it's something that just added a little bit of color and a little bit of excitement each time I was able to add a new sticker. Let me know in the comments below if you're participating in some version of NaNoWRIMO this year. I'd love to hype you up and see how much progress you've been able to make in the past week. As always, I appreciate your support as you follow along with my writing journey. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, no matter where the day takes you, dream big.